Good morning, hockey fans, and welcome back to the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships hosted at the Lunenburg County Lifestyle Center here in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. My name is Jason Shoup. I'm joined alongside Steve Rombeek. Steve, what can we expect going into today?
Absolutely. So this is the first seeded game. We have seed 3 versus seed 6. And they met yesterday evening, I guess, for their fourth game for each of these teams. And based on that, I think there's three things. First one is first to the puck. Ontario won a lot of the battles getting there first, a little bit of extra speed, and we see that right there in this first play here. Second thing is control. Puck control is going to be key in this, and Alberta's going to really have to focus on that. Ontario has been showing us a great deal of control throughout the tournament. And lastly, don't panic. I saw a lot of Alberta players just shuffling the puck out of their zone on the defense. And if they can just hold on to that puck a little bit longer, control, look for that breakout pass, we could see a different scenario than yesterday. We had a 9-1, kind of ran away with it, Ontario did yesterday. So today could be a very different day.
For sure, and I think you've summed that up really well. I'd have to agree with you there, Steve. So I'm really curious to see how this one was. I believe it was Ontario taking a 9-1 win yesterday.
It was indeed, yes.
I think we'll see a bit of a closer game this time, just because. Main thing is it's a seeded game. This game does really matter. So I'm curious to see how this will all work out.
Absolutely, Easton. And I've been really impressed with the Alberta players. They just haven't been able to get things going on the scoreboard. The other one thing that we will note is the previous game with Ontario, they did have Ukelchuk in net, and now they have Reitfeld in net. Tyson Reitfeld from Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta's in net for Alberta. We'll see if that makes any difference. Ukelchuk played fabulous, but he did bobble a couple tough ones that let in, so that may make a difference as well.
And that pass is blocked right away, and here comes Team Alberta the other way. It looks like it might be forming a 3-on-2 or an early 2-on-1. And Hillman with the shot that time, stopped by Dudkowicz from Team Ontario, and they'll look to do the same thing coming the other way.
Yeah, and Dudkowicz has been solid in net, very different style, very aggressive style, but nobody's really tested him thus far in the tournament. The Ontario defense has done a great job of keeping the play contained and controlled.
And that's picked up in the center by Harrington, sent back down. And yes, I will agree with you there, Steve. Ontario and Quebec both have very good defenses. I think Quebec does take it. But both of them have great puck control. And so that falls into the defensive end as well, as they're patient. But ultimately, Quebec is more structured, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I would definitely agree with you there, Easton. And we're going to get this face-off come down into the Ontario zone. We get our first penalty of the game. And that's going to Stefano Tamburello, Barrie, Ontario. It's going to take 2 minutes out in that box. Think about what he's done.
Teeing the call on that one, so Alberta to the power play.
Yeah, and that was a pretty clean check, to be honest. The ref saw a tee on that one and then can't disagree with that, but first shot early by Alberta there. That was a great one.
For sure, and they look to generate an offense. And just by the looks of this one, Steve, it looks like Alberta's more awake out there than they were yesterday.
Most definitely, and you can also see how Dudkowicz can play there. He is very fast mover around the net. He's got great mobility side to side, forward, back. He's going to be hard to beat.
So now, pardon me, Team Ontario will clear the puck that time. Reitfeld decides to stay in his crease. It'll be picked up down low by Skiffington. Actually, that one will be fired up the left side. That one goes a little wide. Icing waved off on the play.
Yeah, Reitfeld, good choice there, I think. Could have been a little bit more of a bank shot, but he saw that stretch pass and was really hoping to get his team going here for the power play, dump it back in that zone for them, encourage them to be aggressive.
Good check there. Actually, Riley gave a bit of a reverse at that time. And now here in the attacking end, it's Martin shorthanded. Actually might have a chance now that time. A nice save, though, by Reitfeld, and comes out loose. Martin will fall to the ice, and LeBlanc will pick it up, coming out of Moncton, New Brunswick.
And Riley's, of course, going to have to be a little bit careful, picking up that game misconduct in the first or second game, the first game I believe that they played.
And that one's sent down. It'll be picked up down low by Skiffington. Swafford there to apply some pressure, and that one will be banked up the right side. Will go a little wide, and Ontario will end up picking that one up in the neutral zone. Great patience there. Ultimately, Alberta will take it away, but wasted a few extra seconds potentially on it. Here's Alberta at the end of their power play, going on a rush, and minute of the box for Ontario. That's going to be too many players.
Absolutely. Kind of unfortunate there. It is always challenging switching with these sleds. You do have to wait for that player to come out from that door, and if that puck happens to come down that way as they're making that change, here's the result. There's also a little bit of a lip on those doors as you go between our ice surface and our fake ice surface that is on our benches, and that can be a little bit challenging to navigate sometimes.
Yeah, you can definitely see it actually from up here. Bit of a lip there. You're absolutely correct there, Steve. And it looks like it might be Jake Hillman to the box to serve the penalty. Not entirely sure though.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one.
It's a bench penalty, so that won't go towards his total at least. He just has to be the one to serve it. Now that one through traffic, stopped by Reitveld, loose in front of him, and he'll cover it up.
Yeah, Reitfeld's showing a good sense there with the high puck. Couldn't get a glove on it. Decided to go with the blocker and the stick, getting that rebound out front. Kind of lost it in front of his sled there. Good morning to you. My name's Steve Romick, and there's Easton with me. And good to point out, we'll have a look at the man behind the entire scenario. We have Ethan McBain running the show. He is the reason this is all coming to you live and on YouTube and streaming for all our viewers back in the different provinces where all these athletes' families are. Not everybody can make the trip out, of course.
And it's an early morning in Alberta right now. I believe it's around like 5:21 a.m. I believe it's 3 hours of difference. Either way, it's early, and here comes Ontario on the power play. Here's Topping in on goal, and a beautiful goal.
Yes, absolutely.
Travis Topping from Vienna, Ontario, capitalizes on the power play.
Just turns on the speed at the end there, beating the defense. Just weren't able to get back and get in position. And right. Accelerating as they approach the blue line, but as you can see, not being able to skate backwards multiple times, those defenders really have to get matching the speed of the offense coming in to really block them. The ideal position is actually to be right beside them and just slightly in front of their body. And that way you can control their sled and kind of push them to the outside. Either way, great speed there and a great goal.
Referee there to drop the puck. It's picked up by Ontario once again, and they had Swafford there going. Don't know if they realized it. Now it will be broken up down low. Swafford will try and send that one around once again, but doesn't get much on it. Alberta will pick it up on their own end, and here they come. Hit there. Now Ontario regains possession, decides not to pass that one over, keeps it himself, now in front. Great chance.
Yeah, that was a great physical play by Clements there. Really set that off to keep that in the zone. Good pressure by Ontario. Now we see Clements with it.
That one, a nice save there by Reitveld. Looked like she had the top corner picked.
Yeah, we've seen her before. She can definitely find the back of the net.
Now that one just goes a little wide of Swafford. Great opportunity though, and now Ontario sticks with it. Centers out in front, nobody there to take it, and Hillman didn't really realize where that one went. Now here's Topping coming up the left side, avoiding a couple players there narrowly, and taking a hit that time along the boards, and it's held up.
Yeah, Aubrey Clements out of Bowmanville, Ontario, playing for Ontario there. She put 2 in the net on their previous meeting with Alberta.
And it's going to get a little physical over there.
Yeah, and Riley's tied up right in there, and we've seen him in those scrums before and lost his cool the once, but manages to play decently there.
Now that one will be sent over first side. Osborne will look to pick it up, though Hillman's going to take it away, actually. And here comes Alberta up the right side. Solid size check that time. Door opens on that one.
Good battle in the neutral zone there.
Beautiful battle, and that one ends up getting fired down by Ontario, sorry. Now Alberta will drop that one back. Hillman now. Pass that one up to LeBlanc. LeBlanc can't hang on to it, but he'll circle back for it. Now up to King. That one will go off her blade there. Now pass up through. Topping will get that one over to Martin. Broken up that time by Hillman. Now other Hillman will pick it up.
And there's that first of the puck I was talking about. Hillman was able to just get his stick on it first and then push it in and get an opportunity down in the offensive zone.
And Ethan and Jake Hillman, both coming out of Peace River, Alberta. Sure they're relatives in some way. And that one's cleared out to center. Skiffington with it in his own end. Will take a trip behind his own goal. He loses it, but trying to get back control. That one's actually going to be broken up. And a hit there on Spong, and Skiffington will try and get it back, but Ontario swarming them like bees. Now Bullchild with it, passed up the right side off the boards. Now a hit there from Tomp. Well executed there, and Ontario will pick that one back up. And already, Steve, you can tell this is a better game from Alberta than it was in the first game, but definitely not where it needs to be if they want to win this hockey game.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Easton. We are seeing a great effort. As I said, I've been impressed by a lot of the players on this Alberta team. Just a good depth there, but they're not connecting fully. And they may just not quite have the speed as Ontario does. But the effort is definitely there in this game.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing, Steve. I don't think they have the speed like Ontario does. That's kind of what I've noticed this whole tournament is Alberta hasn't been able to keep up with many teams. Like I think if they worked on their speed a little bit more, they'd easily be able to hang with teams like Ontario and maybe even teams like Quebec, Steve, if they could get that speed.
Yeah, I agree with you there, and I think because they don't have that speed, as I said, don't panic. I'd like to see them hold the puck a little bit more. They have some real talent on their team. Don't panic in your end. Hold the puck a little bit longer. Try to make something happen. If you have the puck, it means the other team does not. Sorting out a fifth player there. Of course, they're going to want 5 on the ice. Might as well not put yourself in a disadvantage. 6-2, the shots in favor of Ontario.
It's picked up by LeBlanc behind his own net. Pass up the left side. And that one broken up, and here comes Team Alberta the other way. They'll chip that one up to LeBlanc. LeBlanc, he's using his speed now. And on goal, shot there, stopped by Dukowicz.
And all 5 Alberta coming in for the offense. That was great to see. Coming up as a team, it's exactly what they need to do, and here we have a good offensive opportunity.
And Hillman will pick that one back up in the neutral zone, though, taken away by Team Ontario, and here comes Clements up the right side.
And there's that puck control coming into play.
Now in front that time for Topping. Already one to his name in this one. That one just a little wide, and that one will be cleared out to the center.
Yeah, and Topping able to get 3 in on their previous matchup with 4 assists. He's definitely a player to be reckoned with.
Topping with it down low. He'll pass that one up the left side, fire that one up through. Cut under Hillman.
Great saucer pass, but again, first to the puck. Hillman had it. Neutral zone battle, and here we go back down the other way.
Now that one actually will reach Dukowicz 2/3 of the way through the opening frame, and game number 15, game 1 of day 3 at the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships. And that one will be cleared away. That one will end up going almost the length, but linesman will wave it off as Hillman was right there with it. Now LeBlanc with it. That one gets taken away, and here's Team Ontario looking to set up. Solid check that time. Let's put it around into the corner. It's picked up by Stoppa. Down low. Now send it out in front. Here's a shot. That one gets blocked through traffic by LeBlanc, who will drop that one for his goaltender with 4:13 to play here in the first period. 7-4 the shots for Team Ontario, and they lead at 1-0. We'll take a look at your schedule for today.
Ontario and Alberta, of course, what we're playing right now. We should be able to stay fairly on schedule for today. Our second seed game is British Columbia, Saskatchewan. And then that's at 10:30 and followed by Manitoba Atlantic at 1. And that's the seed 2 and 7 on our 10:30 game and seed 4 and 5 on our 1 o'clock game.
And then we approach semifinals at 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. So there's a solid break in between, but as a solid break, that's if we stay on schedule.
Yeah, with the 2.5 hours, I think that we should be able to stay on schedule a little bit closer to today. And they are planning, just for our viewers, they are planning to aim for those times to be the actual puck drop. So you should be able to see the live feeds at those times. A couple things to note on this past couple of plays here. LeBlanc lost his stick along the boards, and I really was impressed with the way he handled that. Wasn't able to carry it around the boards, but he went in front of the net. One stick, got the defensive position on Ontario, and then when he did get the puck, got a block on the shot, and then just put it back to the goalie so that they could freeze play so he could go get that stick. Really good discipline, control, and heads-up play and high IQ hockey there. And I did notice on the Ontario, we have seen them win a lot of face-offs, and it went back to Riley. A couple of goals in their previous matchup, Riley getting that pass off of that face-off and just firing it in the back of the net. So you're going to watch for that again.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing that kind of surprises me here, Steve, is Jacob LeBlanc on Team Alberta, arguably, in my opinion, their fastest skater. He is coming out of New Brunswick, Moncton, New Brunswick to be specific. So he must have just narrowly not made the cut for Team Atlantic, or what do you think made it happen there?
Yeah, I know that with LeBlanc, he's played with a few different provinces, and we've seen in the previous matchups, I think there may be some personal issues going on with him and a few of the other players across the nation. Definitely a feisty player. We've seen that a couple of the games he's played thus far, he's really gone after the players and kind of ignored the puck. Hasn't gone in his favor, but certainly gets in the heads of the other teams, but not necessarily something like they like to see. So an interesting one there. I'm going to stay out of the politics of it, but he is definitely a great player when he decides to play hockey and go after the puck. He's got that speed. He's got a decent control, and I'd like to see some big things from him. He
has some solid IQ as well, Steve, as that one from Lucas will just go a little wide.
Yeah, I think if he can just not get carried away with going for those massive hits. Every time he goes for the massive hits, takes him out of the play. When he goes for, he's showing me very often that he can. Oh, great save there, and lost the puck. Fired out. Sorry, chit-chatting away, and we didn't get a play-by-play on that. My apologies. But as I was saying, yeah, he's got that ability to make a good, solid hit, but stay in the play, and I like to see a lot more of that.
Yeah, what a beautiful save that time around by Tyson Reitveld from Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. Now in front that time for Martin. Couldn't pull the trigger on it.
And that was that speed differential there. The defense just could not get back in time. Spong was right on him, but just behind. And it almost resulted in another goal. We are still just 1-0 here. Still plenty of game for Alberta.
Yeah, that puck will come loose there, Steve. And Ontario will look to work something up. And really a chance there for Riley just out of reach, and crawling Reitveld will come out of his crease to make the stop, or get the whistle, if you will.
So far, Reitveld's looking solid, looks awake. He's had his coffee this morning.
One thing I noticed about Dukowicz this game, I just noticed it now, but I haven't really noticed him coming way out of his crease like he usually does and sitting up there. So I'm not sure what happened there, if he's a little too tired to get out there or what the deal is.
Yeah, of course, you won't see that as a viewer, but he does tend to creep forward while the play is down the ice. as I mentioned before, he chooses to use a sled that has a standard blade, unlike a lot of the goalies which will not have a blade but actually have plastic, so that gives them more the lateral movement.
And here's Bullchild out the left side. Shot there. Nice save by Dukowicz. Now another shot, they score!
Wow, what a great effort, and that was phenomenal. Bullchild's been excellent and just created that situation by getting down the ice, having a good shot, beautiful speed, and it was the team effort there with the follow-up. Here we see beautiful pass. Bullchild has a lot of speed. He's been doing a lot of great things this tournament. Big save there, but comes out of his net quite a bit. And there it just took a, that aggressive play by Dukowicz, having him come out of his net makes it an amazing first save, but put him out of position for that second attempt, and that rebound gets that goal.
And Colton Ribbling, the defenseman from Lethbridge, Alberta, finds the back of the net on a hustle play, you could say. And coming out of his defense position at the top to join the rush there. And it ended up working out for him, so a very smart play on his end. Ended up with a goal.
Absolutely, and as I mentioned at the start of the game, been impressed by a lot of the players on Team Alberta. They really have a deep roster and a lot of very good, very talented athletes. And if they can just get a team effort like we saw there, I think this could really be a different game from yesterday.
100%. We're all knotted up at 1-1. The shots on goal, 9-5 in favor of Ontario.
43.5 to go in this first. It's been an exciting one, and as we anticipated, we're going to have some great hockey today.
Now the puck is being dropped. That one will be cleared away. And icing called on the play. 10 seconds will tick off, and we'll do it all again on the other end.
And Riley positioned at the top of the circle. He doesn't take the face-off itself, topping to take that face-off. I'm sure that they're going to look to have Riley take those long shots. He's got quite the shot from that range, and he can pick those corners.
For sure, and Spong's actually going to come out of her left wing position to take that one. Still loose there, and Riley will take it away, though Hillman there right there to apply some pressure, and Alberta's actually going to come up with this one and cleared out just to the blue line as Martin has it, but actually not going to be able to hang on to it. Still trying to force that one out as it does come out, and Riley will fire that one back down. 10 seconds to go. There's Skeffington. He's just trying to wait for the clock to burn out there. That's going to do it. Hopefully no extra pushing and shoving like we've seen before, and Riley actually in there getting a little frustrated by the looks of things, but that's going to do it. So after the first period of play, 1-1 your score, 9-5 the shot for Ontario. Steve, what do you think of that period?
Oh, that was great. We actually have a great game on our hands for this one. Great hockey, good skills, and I think Alberta made a smart play by just holding that puck, going into this intermission with that adrenaline from that goal that they've got tied up 1-1, shots 5-9.
Yes, so it's been a great game. I think we can expect a lot of the same in the second period. My name is Jason Schupp. I'm joined alongside Steve Rombeek. We'll be right back here for the second period of play. Stay tuned.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions, home to possibility, and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Our mission at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Canada is to really make the lives of patients and families the best that it can be and really lift up patients who need our services to fulfill the most optimal version of themselves.
We take care of all orthopedic problems in pediatrics, but we super specialize in really rare conditions and complex conditions that involve orthopedics and other specialties.
A lot of the patients that will come to the motion lab are surgical candidates. So the surgeon may be able to do a great plan with just medical imaging, with the clinical history of the patient and some observation, whereas the motion lab will bring real numbers that we can measure that the eye cannot catch necessarily. And so it allows us to be more precise in the diagnostic of the patient, and then it allows us to better plan the treatment.
Rehabilitation is not easy. It's a tough part. So when we do rehabilitation, we did the surgery. Now we have the tough part, moving with difficulties, and it's saying, okay, now you're gonna have to do something that you might not wanna do. So how do we make that enticing for a patient to do this? And when I see parents writing back and saying, going to physio is the best part of my day, I said, oh, we're doing definitely something right.
Without Shriners, I know my leg wouldn't be straight. And Shriners, it's really special because there's only 2 doctors that can do this type of operation. So I know I couldn't just go to another hospital. It was here or I wouldn't do it. So everything is super for me and the future looks bright ahead.
Shriners is incredibly unique because we take the time for our patients. We take the time to listen, to understand what their needs are. Our team in social services, we try and make it as simple as we can for our families. Families coming from out of province, having a greeter meet them at the airport, drive them to the hotel. We make sure that our families are comfortable in what they do and in their decision of coming to our hospital, knowing that our people are the best that you can have right now.
Yeah, this place is definitely like a family because they treat you very nicely here. They treat you like you're one of them. When you come in for like an x-ray, like, hey there, Michael, you know, how are you? Yeah, everyone that works here definitely has positive attitude, always smiles on your faces. I know a lot of people here, I love them like a family.
You know, when you're a parent that has a child that's disabled, either wheelchair or has some disability, it's tough on the parents. And you know, when they come to the Shriners and they see other parents that have the same kind of child as they do, it's almost comforting in a way, you know, and they can exchange ideas. I can't tell you how many patients became friends from different backgrounds completely. You know, French or English, it doesn't matter. Because they have the same kind of disability, you know, they become friends because they see each other in the clinic together. And sometimes we make sure to invite them at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, we make that effort, you know, so that these conditions, that these kids, you know, feel good and the parents feel great about that. And I think that that's something that we pride ourselves in.
During the treatment, when it's really hard on him because he goes through a lot of emotions, anxiety, we always have one nurse that comes to distract him, to play games with him. They bring their virtual goggles so that he doesn't think of the pain that he's going to go through. All these little details make the Shriners so special.
We cover a wide range from the molecular to the bedside of the patient. And that was the vision from the get-go. And I think the best example that this vision works is that this facility has developed a standard of care for 3 pediatric metabolic bone diseases. So those now are the treatments that are used throughout the world that were developed here at Shriners Hospitals for Children Canada. And I think it is unique because it has a very high-performing research center, which not all hospitals have.
We are becoming experts, and in certain cases we are identified as the leaders in North America in rare and complex bone-related disease. For certain, we have the biggest group of patients for osteogenesis imperfecta in North America. But that being said, we want to be identified as a leader in pediatric orthopedics so that when your kid has a rare disease or complex, it's obvious that you're going to come at Shriners. And we want to be the place in Canada. That's part of our vision.
Shriners is special because they have like the family kind of vibe. Here you're really going to have care, you're going to be informed, you're going to have support. That is really important. They are human here, not just nurses, not just physicians, not just doctors. They are human. They have human values, and this is what makes them different than others. The Shriners are really the one that has my heart.
What we offer children and families goes beyond clinical care. I'm just really grateful to work here because people from every department, everyone really has this passion of giving back, whether it's people who work in maintenance, in the kitchen, in audiovisual services, in research, in clinical, at the reception. Every person has a role and makes a difference. And when you see this teamwork and everyone coming together with their energies, everyone wants to make a difference in the child's life. And it's really obvious from this kindness and this motivation to do better. To me, this is what really makes the Shriners special.
Casual with it.
Welcome back, hockey fans. We're here for game number 1 on day 3 of the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships here at the Lunenburg County Lifestyle Center and the Clearwater Seafoods Arena. For the 3 seed versus the 6 seed, we have Team Alberta facing off against Team Ontario. And it seems like the officials down there in the corner are cleaning up potentially a spot that Zamboni might have missed, or little scuff down there. Steve, what can we expect going into this period?
Well, as you mentioned, Easton, we're probably going to expect a fair bit of what we saw in that first period. Great playing by both teams there. Ontario showing their standard control of the puck and first to the puck skill and speed. And they were definitely, I think Ontario's going to look for some more centering passes and looking for those players beating the defense in the lane. Alberta's going to continue with their full team grit hockey that they've shown here. Some great skills there. And if they can get that teamwork going in the offensive end, we're going to have a real game on our hands here.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there, Steve. And I'm curious to see what LeBlanc can do for this Alberta team. He's a great player out there and really quick as well. He's probably Alberta's fastest skater, and honestly could be up there with one of the fastest guys in this tournament.
Yeah, and Bolchild coming up right now, and he's also one of the fastest players, and he has a great opportunity there. He created that first goal, and the similar scenario there, getting that first shot on, and then they're looking for that rebound.
And Dukowicz will cover that one up.
But he did definitely lose it for a little while there, just under his sled. I think if I couldn't remember which follow-up player there was, but if he had got a stick on that, might have been able to poke it through.
14-16 to go here in the second period. 9-6 the shots for Team Ontario, and we're all tied up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and that worked the first time for them and almost worked again there. If they can continue to do that, and they've seen it work once, and I think that, as I said, if they can have that follow-up player crash the net, that's going to work for them against Dukowicz. He's going to have to really control those rebounds.
And almost taken away, now taken away by Team Ontario. Beautiful move there in front. It comes a little loose now along the boards. It's Hillman with it. Takes a hit into the boards.
Riley there, of course, playing that one. He's been a powerhouse in this tournament already, both physically and with his hockey skills.
And now that one picked up by Team Alberta in their own end. They'll pass that one up the right side. And here's Team Ontario with it in their own end. They'll look to pass that one up the left side. The battle there in front of the penalty box is fired over to the left side for Hillman. Hillman over the blue line. Will send that one down around. It looks like it'll be picked up by Harrington behind his own net. And Hillman will take it up and try and fire that one in front, though. Kind of whiffed on it there, and Riley will pretty easily pick that one off and flip that one out to center.
Yeah, and that little flip out there, it was a little bit fanned on, but it was a no-look pass, and that's what I mentioned earlier as we look at your Alberta and Ontario rosters on your screen. I mentioned not panicking, right? And in that offensive corner, if he could have just taken that extra second, control the puck, yes, he may have gotten a hit, but you have to be able to take that hit and look for that bit more controlled pass, although a centering pass is never a bad idea.
No, it never is, and worst comes to worst, you get a goal out of it. Worst comes to worst, it's dropped by the goaltender.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or it doesn't go through, of course. There's endless possibilities, but yeah, there's never a bad thing. Crossing the puck, centering it, whatever you want to say, centering it to the slot. Now Ontario will pick that one up in their own end, trying to get it over to Topping, and they do. Decides to circle back, actually, and on the left side, Riley will fire that one down.
And speaking of speed, Topping is definitely a quick player as well. Able to get his stick on the puck first a lot of the time.
Now trying to free that one up a little bit. Still tied up down there. Now LeBlanc will fire that one along the boards for Team Alberta, though. Easily picked up near the blue line by Team Ontario and broken up once again. Still battling in there. And referee has seen enough, and he'll blow that one down. Actually, there's going to be a penalty, sorry.
Yeah, I think that went up into the netting. And it might be a delay of... Looks like Bullchild's going to serve that.
Yeah, so it's going to be Bullchild for delay of game. 11:50 to go here in the second period. 9-6 their shots for Team Ontario. 1-1.
And LeBlanc got that deep in his own zone and very quickly fired along the boards. And I wonder if that is what the coaching staff is kind of directing them to do, is look for that winger and get those quick breakout passes. Or if LeBlanc could potentially have an opportunity to carry it a little bit more. I think he's just got to have that confidence in his own puck handling skills, which he does have.
And here's Hillman with a shot there. I think if Hillman might have cut to the center there into the slot a little bit more, he might have had a chance on the far side of the net.
Yeah, the defense was doing a great job there and got in position on his sled, though. It would have been a tough cut across. Big collision in the middle here.
Yeah, great hit by LeBlanc there.
Looks like everybody's okay once they got their equipment sorted. And we did see a big rebound come out from Dukowitz again. I think that may come into play in this tournament as we see Ontario progress. If teams can get a good shot on Dukowitz with a follow-up, there's those rebound opportunities. He's had a number of them tested a little bit more by this Alberta team and popping out some big, juicy rebounds.
Now the puck dropped by the linesman there, and here's Ontario. It's Raleigh who gets that one up to Topping. Topping, that one gets poked away, and thought they might have carried it offside there, but just decides to call the delayed offside on that one, and now it'll be fired back down by Team Alberta, who are still on the penalty kill. Now a chance for Hillman there. Man, what a chance. Short-handed for Team Alberta.
Absolutely. Dukowitz does like to play out of his net. And we've seen it a couple times. First goal got him out of position a little bit. LeBlanc a chance here.
Jacob LeBlanc just Topping. Lucky to get a poke on that one. Might have even had a chance that time. Now Hillman will pick it up for Team Alberta once again, taking a bump from Riley. An offside called on the play with 40 seconds to go on the power play. 10:30 to go here in the second period. 9-7 the shots for Team Ontario. We're all tied up at one apiece.
Great penalty kill thus far by Team Alberta. Big offense for their penalty kill. They've had it in their zone, really aggressive in the offensive zone, not just dumping it in. Making Ontario work for it. Let's see if they can get something going just outside the zone here. Set something up and have a good power play opportunity.
And linesman drops the puck, and we're set to go here once again. It'll be fired down on the penalty kill. Now here's Clements in over the red line, over the blue line there. Tomp will try to knock her off the puck. Now for Swafford. Swafford now in on goal on the power play. Shot there, gets blocked by Skiffington through traffic. Now to Tomp. Can't quite clear that one. Now here's Harrington who will fire that one on and stop by Reitveld with 10 minutes to go here in the second. 10 seconds on the power play.
Great effort by Clements to come in there, take the hit and maintain control. Gets off the pass, sets up the beautiful passing opportunity right in the center of the offensive zone. Couldn't get it through, but did create that opportunity for a shot to trickle through. Fairly routine stop for Reitveld.
Puck is dropped by the linesman. It gets dropped back, and here's Team Alberta in their own end still. Ontario applying the pressure, but that's going to do it. Man out of the box for Alberta.
Shot differential only 10-7. Seen a great close game here. Back and forth.
And now here comes a chance. Bullchild up to Ribbling. Ribbling has Bullchild with him. Ribbling will let that one go a little wide. Would have liked to see more done with that play than what it was.
Yeah, really unfortunate that that went wide. I think that even putting a shot just directly on net would have been beneficial there. We've seen some rebounds come out.
Skiffington will take a hit from Stoppa, and Stoppa's going to take a penalty here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to end up being boarding or no. It's going to be a T, it looks like.
Actually,
was that a T?
I believe the referee signaled for a hold.
Was that a holding? It didn't look like a T. We'll see that on the replay. Just see the very end as they go into the boards there, a little knock afterwards. But we didn't quite see the actual infraction. But I think you're right. It's going to end up being a hold, which caused him to tip over and slide headfirst into those boards.
It's going to go to Chad Stoppa from Barry's Bay, Ontario.
May have been a light hold there, but perhaps because it ended up with a player sliding headfirst into the boards is why the ref decided to call that one.
And there also could have been a case for boarding as well, potentially there.
And we'll get going with a Alberta power play.
The right side of the ice now. Linesman trying to get back to her position. Still battling in that corner there. Trying to fight it loose, and referee has seen enough and will blow it down.
And I don't mind that. Alberta keeping it in the zone is key. Certainly Ontario has been pretty strong with their penalty kills thus far in this tournament. They've got some players that can play very physical hockey.
Yeah, you're for sure. That is absolutely correct there, Steve. So Lucas in for the draw for Team Alberta. Linesman in for the to drop the puck, sorry. And we're off once again. That one will be fired up the right side. LeBlanc gets a hold of it and sends it back in. He lays a hit that time on Riley. Riley gives it a little bit of an extra shove there, and that one reaches Dukowicz in net, and he'll get the whistle with 8:44 to go here in the second period.
Perfect amount of force there by LeBlanc on that one. Just to push the player off the puck. Gave him that opportunity to make a great spinning pass back to his defenseman.
10-8 the shots now for Team Ontario. 132 still on the power play for Team Alberta. Linesman drops the puck, and we're off once again as one back. Team Ontario can't get the clear on it yet, but it looked like Tom Borello or actually Riley will get the clear on it on the second chance effort as they do.
Puts it right on net, which is good for them. We'll get a reset here for Alberta.
And you never know, some of those might squeak through on those long shots.
Great forecheck by Riley. Creates a situation back down the other way.
Now here's Team Alberta coming the other way. It's picked up by Martin in the neutral zone. 1 minute has ran off of the power play for Team Alberta. And Skiffington up the left side. Taking a hit that time. Ribbling will come in and free that puck up. Now here's a chance for Team Alberta. That one just out of reach. So that pass will, or that clearing attempt will get broken up a little bit, but still will reach the same destination as it would have. How long the boards that time? Taking it out to neutral zone is Team Ontario, and they're just looking to waste time on this one. Now trying to force that one in. Now out to King in the slot. Here's King.
Just couldn't find their stick on that puck. That's unfortunate. It was a great opportunity for King. She definitely has the capability to find the back of the net as well.
And I actually think there, Steve, Haley King predicted that it might have been deflected and tried to position herself that way, but didn't realize it actually would have squeaked through.
Yeah, I think you're right. Either way, great heads-up hockey by her. Sliding down that lane, looking for that pass. Lots of opportunities here for both teams. 13 seconds remain in our penalty. 11-9 in your shots in favor of your leader, of Ontario. Tied up 1-1.
That one just goes a little high, maybe a little wide as well. And here's Tomp. Down low, that one will get to Spong. Now penalty comes to an end for Team Ontario, and Stop it there on that first side. You might be able to see him on the corner of your screen. He's just trying to go for a breakout, but actually Alberta's going to come up with it and send it out in front, now taken right back by Ontario. And a hit there into the boards. Hillman in there with a couple others.
Some great battles along that board. Sponk played great with 2 defenders all over her. Managed to hold on to it. Instead of just firing it away, she was willing to take that hit into the boards that started this whole process. Let's see if it comes out with anything for Alberta.
Here's Stoppa actually getting knocked off the puck, though, by Hillman. And Lucas still with it in the neutral zone for Team Alberta, and that one fired down. It's picked up along the boards. See who the first to the puck is. Crashing and banging into that corner. It looks like they're going to be tied up. Referee Dylan Dauphney right there to blow anything down. Here comes up the left side. Stop it now. Beautiful chance. Topping's going to get wide for the pass, and they do get it there. Now in on goal. Can't get the shot off. That's kept in by Swafford and chipped back out by Alberta. It looks like Spong actually could win this puck race, though she'll be overtook by Verburn the last second. So with 5:37 to go here in the second period, we'll get another stoppage.
What a great opportunity by Ontario. And Stoppa and Topping coming racing down the ice, both of them showing great speed as they have all tournament. Beautiful little pass out front, and I don't recall which Alberta player, but came flying across. Big defensive play. Wrightville definitely came across the net quickly and committed to a stop, but didn't have to. Saved by the defense.
Now the puck is dropped by the linesman, and it's picked up by Verburn at the low point area. Still sticking with that one, actually getting it down low. At least attempting to, and now it's taken away by Alberta. That one will be fired up the right side. It'll be a loose puck race. Actually, I think Tomk has him beat, and 100% he does.
Good control by Tomk as well.
Solid check that time from Team Ontario. And Steve, I don't know if it's just me, but compared to the other games this tournament, this game's rolling right along. It's only been an hour and 7 minutes, and you know, in other games, it's been almost an hour and a half at this point. So it's really nice to see. And actually, times are allotted 2.5 hours today and tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Gives us a little bit of an opportunity to stay on schedule. We've only got 5 games today in this 4-day tournament. These athletes are playing a lot of games. As we've said before, we'll have to see how much energy they can sustain for this whole time. Certainly the energy levels here by Alberta and Ontario are high. First game of the day.
I'm impressed by Alberta, Steve. Really facing off against a tough team, but hold on. We'll touch bases on that here in a second. Great chance for Raleigh there. Now sends that one out in front, but I'm not really sure why that one was.
We're going to get a penalty here. The players are still going, but we will get a penalty on that play. Not sure what's going to be called here. I think against Riley for interference? I think
Oh, sorry. This is going to go to Team Ontario.
Yeah, they're going to call interference on that one. I mean, it's an interesting call. I think that he was definitely ahead. The puck was ahead. He beat LeBlanc pretty cleanly to that puck. Bumped the front of his sled a bit. But definitely had the race won to the puck. I'm sure Riley's not happy about that one. Either way, even if there wasn't a penalty called, LeBlanc did play some great defense there and didn't let Riley get a shot off.
Now here's Bullchild down low. That went off the side of the net, trying to keep it loose, but it looks like Dukowicz will easily put his glove over the top to get the whistle.
Great effort by Bullchild there just to keep poking at it.
And Steve, we can't emphasize it enough, but I am the biggest fan of these Alberta jerseys.
Yes, definitely. And we wouldn't have seen it on the live feed, but the Alberta coaching staff, they had set up the pucks before their players came out in a big A and B along the boards. And that was a great thing to see. I know that some staff here, some of our volunteers took some pictures of that.
That one just had to reach for LeBlanc. Absolutely would have been a perfect opportunity for him to cut back into the slot and get a great shot off, but that pass just goes a little wide. Now along the boards, here they come.
And a quick turnaround there. And again, that was that first to the puck that I was talking about, the speed that they're showing. And I believe that was Stoppa. Topping and Stoppa are all over the place.
They're battling in the corner down there. Kind of hard to see because you got the flag sitting there, but it's played out in front for Tom Borello. And that one will be played down low once again. And a shot coming for Top, and they score. What a goal.
And those two were together on that whole play. And it was, I said Stoppa, but it was Tom Borello that came back out of the zone to get the first to the puck on that created that turnaround and back into the zone. And the two of them made that happen. As you can see here, great knowledge, communication. Just the two of them down there, 2-on-2 battle in the zone, or 2-on-3 actually. There was 3 defenders. But just their recognition of where their player was going to be, created that situation. Beautiful pass into the front. Not much that Wrightville could do with that one.
So that one's going to go to Travis Topping short-handed, his second goal of the game. And that's a fun play to watch.
Yeah, and that's that speed that Topping and has. You know, that allowed them to do a double forecheck and create that short-handed goal. They have that confidence that they've got the speed to get back when necessary.
Down low, it looks like Ontario's going to pick it up in their own end once again, though coming in for that one. Alberta's going to take it away, and centering that one, just nobody home to pick up the telephone.
Yeah, that's great centering pass, but all 5 of their players were well onto the right side of the ice.
And now here's Tomk with it. Up the left side. It's picked up by Team Ontario, and they'll let that one rip, and we'll go a little wide. 2:40 to play here in the second period. Now along the boards. Now centered out in front. That one just going to go a little wide. It'll be picked up by Verburn in his own end, in the attacking end, sorry. Broken up once again. Loose puck, and Rowley's going to collide there. Coming loose once again. That one shot on. Once again, gets broken up through the lane. Lucas will look to clear it. Now Hillman will look to clear it, but Riley getting those picked off. Now Garrett Riley tries to fire that one in front, though it's poked and taken away by Hillman. And that one will sail out to center. 2 minutes to play here in the middle frame, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dukowitz in his net. I saw him there. This time he's sitting in his net. Seeming a little bored. He's creating a little snow pile off of your screen there. I'm sure the action is going to come back down to him very shortly.
Possibly right now. And
linesman took a very rough tumble there.
Didn't really see that one there.
Just got caught up. It's one of the challenges with having your refs as a stand-up and then these sleds, which are very low. And they take up a fair bit of real estate low to the ground. Does create a bit of a tripping hazard at times. Looks like he's okay. Again, our officials coming from all different provinces across our wonderful nation.
And now at just inside the blue line there, that one's actually still going to be a loose puck. But now it's finally picked up by Ontario on their own end. And look at this puck race going the other way. Actually, Tom Borelli's going to win it. Unfortunately, caught a bit of an edge there. It'll be taken away by Alberta, and they'll fire that one up the right side. It'll land it in the neutral zone. Osborne will fire that one down. Goes a little wide of the net. It's picked up by LeBlanc up the left side. Voids one. Takes a bump on the second trip through. And crashing and banging in there is Sean Lucas from Belleville, Ontario on this Alberta team. Now here's Jacob LeBlanc once again, and what an exciting player to watch he is. And now here comes Team Alberta the other way. That one goes a little wide through There's no tip on that one, so that's just going to be icing with 44 seconds to go.
Yeah, and the last neutral zone collision there, Bullchild got a little bit bumped up. He went to the bench and holding his maybe his side a little bit. He is being seen by a trainer right now. Hopefully we are going to see Bullchild can be able to continue with this game. He is very quick and has created a lot of opportunities.
And he's a key force to this Team Alberta team. Now drop back once again. Now it'll be finally picked up by Team Ontario, who that one will actually go the full length down, but will go wide of the net. Now bump there, popping out to center. That one goes a little wide of King. It'll end up being taken away by Ontario. 20 seconds to go. It's Merton. And then here's Ontario once again. They'll send that one along the boards. 7 seconds to go here in this second period. Maybe a chance for one late one for Alberta if they can find something going. But that one will be sent around the boards, and that's going to do it. So 2-1 your score after 2 periods of play in favor of Team Ontario, and they lead the shots 13-11 as well. Steve, talk to me.
Well, you know, I think that we've seen, as we mentioned from the first period, the second period much the same. Alberta has come out flying. They are really working on that speed, and they've shown a lot more control than they have, a lot better passing and team effort than they have in previous games, and that's resulted in a 1 on the scoreboard and another couple of really good opportunities. Certainly the score 2-1, keeping it close, 13-11. The shots, we've got a really good game on our hands here.
My name's Easton Shoup. I'm joined alongside Stephen Rombeek. We'll be right back here for the third period of play. Stay tuned and stay safe. Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to day number 3 of the Para Ice Hockey Championships, the 2025 edition here at the Lunenburg County Lifestyle Center and the LCLC for the 3 versus 6 seed matchup between Team Ontario and Team Alberta. Pardon me. So far, Team Ontario leads this one 2-1. And they lead the shots 13-11. And it actually, we went live a little late there, or started our video a little late. Actually, at the end, or during the second period, Dukowicz had been messing with the ice in his end down there on the side where Alberta's bench is, and that closest to them. So they're making him stay down there because they messed it up so badly that the other goalie can't even play there. But here's LeBlanc on goal. A beautiful save by Dukowicz.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dukowicz showing there that he was able to maintain that puck and not give up that rebound. But that's exactly what Alberta's going to have to continue to do if they're going to put another one in the back of that net. Force Dukowicz to hold on to that puck. He has been giving up a few rebounds. That time he was demonstrating that he can control that puck as well.
Face-off will go to the left of goaltender Chris Dukowicz from Kitchener, Ontario. They'll go to the left.
Looking forward to a great third period here.
Now that one will be fired along the boards. It's picked up by Topping there in his own end for Team Ontario up the left side now. Now along the boards, bit of a battle going on there. Comes freed up, and Skiffington in there knocks Topping off the puck. And here's Hillman who fires that one up the right side. And LeBlanc coming in now, skating in on goal. Great chance that time. Now up the left side, a great pass. And will just be able to reach. LeBlanc will pick it up. Now here's Harrington. Passed it over. That one caught under the blade. Now here's Team Ontario. In the neutral zone, they'll fire that one up. Not going really too far, though. Curious to see where this one's landed up, and seems to be in the neutral zone for Harrington, and that one's fired over far side, staying onside. Now a good battle over there. Lucas looks like he's going to come in to help. Actually decides not to, and Ontario's going to come up with it. That one's dropped back at the point for Osborne. Can't really get a shot off. LeBlanc breaks that one up, but Osborne will get it back and try to fire that one in. Tombrello has it. Dropped back now once again for Osborne. Fired in. Broken up by Lucas on the doorstep out the right side.
Good control there by Lucas, and that was one of those smart opportunities to hold the puck a second longer and look for that lead pass, and it might create something here.
And now a beautiful feed. That time will go a little wide of King. Now broken up a little bit. Now here comes Team Ontario up the left side.
Lots of action back and forth thus far.
Have we had a whistle yet this period, Steve?
I don't believe that we have. This is some great action. And to
Hard to
note,
beat.
we have right there with the puck, Bullchild, he is definitely back in this game, looking no worse for the wear after his earlier collision.
He'll let that one go, actually. A bouncing puck on Dukowicz. He's there to make the save. 11:55 to play here in the third period. 13-13 the shots, but Team Ontario has the edge as they lead at 2-1.
And I love that shot by Bullchild. Riblin was coming in from the wing, and we've seen those rebounds coming off of Dukowicz thus far, and he's been able to hold it for the past two, but that is exactly what I like to see, is that nice shot into the net looking for the rebound. And, you know, if he hadn't controlled that puck, it would have been a very different story.
Faceoff will go to the right of Dukowicz. The linesman gets set there to drop the puck, and we get set to go here. Now trying to get it to the slot for Bullchild. That shot will just go a little wide. Tomp decided to follow back and go grab his stick and started following the play, and now that one will get fired in. Goes high of the net, off the glass there, and picked up by Team Alberta in their own end. The right side now. That one being broken up a little bit. Out to the neutral zone, actually going to sail probably all the way down, and it will. Linesman there to call the icing, and it'll go down the other way.
Great first few minutes of this third period, all squared away at 13 shots apiece for these teams. 2-1 your score. We're going to see a lot of action in this third period in this first quarter final of our tournament.
Yeah, and what a better, not really much of a better score to have right now. It's 2-1. Team Ontario has the edge, but lots of hockey to be played, so still, sorry.
Yeah, and Alberta has been making the best showing thus far of this tournament, really playing as a cohesive team together in this one, showing that they can have the speed and they've got the ability and they've definitely got the desire.
Man, what a roll that one took on Dukowicz, and he takes a bump that time.
Yeah, Dukowicz not happy with that, but
there's going to be a penalty coming on the play, and what a chance there in front.
Yeah, that was Ethan Hillman, I believe, just had an awesome opportunity. Cut across the net, great control, just couldn't quite squeeze it in. Dukowicz taking some physical hits there on that one, but he does play quite a ways out in his net.
I think they just count that goal, Steve?
It may have gone over the line. Not sure what we're going to get a replay of.
Well, let's take a listen here from the announcer in the house, the public address announcer, if you will.
I don't think we really could see it on our screen from the camera angle.
It's going to be a penalty shot.
We're going to get a penalty shot here.
So a huge chance for Team Alberta here. Now here's Ethan Hillman. He's going to go right down Main Street on this one. And Dukowicz makes a stop there and says a little bit to Hillman afterwards.
Yeah, it comes out aggressively. As I said, he's got a very different style as a goaltender, and you know, that may throw off especially some players that haven't faced him too much. Coming right out past the crease, being very aggressive on that penalty shot stop. We just catch the very tail end of that on our replay.
Face off to the left of Dukowicz.
And not something we see a lot of in the para hockey is those penalty shots, and so they don't get too many opportunities to practice
up
them
here,
either.
Steve. Here's Swafford with a chance. Tried to run it up here there. Might have had a chance going there.
Not at all. We want to keep that play-by-play going live, and that was a great chance there. Reifeld seemed fairly calm on that one. Lay down at just the right time, able to make that stop. And we'll get some fresh players on the ice here and see if this line can get something going. All scored away at 14 shots apiece. 10:31 left. Still lots of time for both of these teams to make something happen.
Both goaltenders have been phenomenal in this matchup. Very excellent, very well played. Here's Verburn. That one will get broken up a little bit, actually, by Bullchild. Now a chance. Bullchild decides to just lay a hit that time. Delayed offside, so LeBlanc will have to reset before going back in. And LeBlanc, great effort that time to keep that one in. Now King with it, gets knocked off the puck a little bit that time. Flipped out to center now. Here's Ontario with a chance. Here's Swafford once again. That one narrowly goes wide. A good hit that time into the boards with LeBlanc and Martin. And Martin and LeBlanc seem to be exchanging some words.
A shove after the play by the Ontario player on LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Martin gave him a little shove to the head. No penalty coming from that.
Actually, there should have been a too many men call there.
Yeah, I
Didn't
think
get
you're
it.
right. Didn't get that one, though. Refs letting them play a fair bit here.
Too many players call. That's one that the linesman's actually allowed to call as well.
LeBlanc goes in for a nice check on that one. Did lose the sticks, unfortunately, though.
That is going to be an icing on the play.
And I love the intensity that we're seeing in the last portion of this game. Alberta's coming out. They're all, you can definitely see that they are fighting for this in this quarterfinal. They want to move on in this tournament. Big hit there that you saw by LeBlanc. Bounced off a little bit and just lost his sticks. We're going to keep in the play. Pretty good check, nonetheless.
And we're off one more time as the puck has been dropped. It's fired along the left side. Now Tomk will look to work that one back in the neutral zone, sorry. Now up the left side here comes Team Ontario. It's Tom Borello who tries to avoid a hit there. Actually ends up taking a bit of one. Now played up. Banked off the wall there. LeBlanc will fire it up. And I'm still hearing music going on here, Steve.
Yeah.
Finally comes to an end. That one will sail a little wide.
What a great little touch there by Lucas, I believe. Yeah, that was a great little touch. Really heads-up play. He's a very high IQ player.
He's a captain out there for a reason, Steve.
Most definitely.
And LeBlanc will fire that one on. Easily turned aside by Dukowicz, who will slide that one under his sled and cover it up.
Great action here.
And I'd love to see Team Alberta get one here soon and maybe see some overtime in this quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Looking at your rosters there for Alberta. Number of people on Alberta, at least originally from other provinces. We have people from Ontario and from New Brunswick, of course. Not to say that they don't currently live in Alberta and practice there for the season.
Now Ontario actually is going to drop that one back. It's picked up the right side. Topping will fire that one up. Might have gotten away with interference that time. But it was a play on the puck, so that could have been the case there to wave it off or not call the penalty, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and certainly the officials are letting these players play through. This is playoff hockey and gets a little gritty at times.
And now here's Team Alberta. And now a hit there from McQuaig, and even Bullchild got in there a little bit to make a sandwich.
Yeah, but great effort by Clements to just get it into the zone and control the neutral zone there.
Now that will be fired over far side into the neutral zone. Avoiding a collision that time. Going forward is still Lucas. Sean Lucas hit on goal that time. Will decide to keep on going and takes a little bit of a bump down low by Team Ontario's Haley Halleck.
Yeah, and great speed by Haley Halleck on that one. It was just a wonderful defensive play to keep that player on the outside the entire way down.
And LeBlanc's shot there will go a little high.
And there Halleck again, touch. Getting first to the puck, which is key. Big collision in the center there.
And LeBlanc takes a really good size hit there. Now at the right side, here's LeBlanc. Takes another bump there. Spong there, gets it down low. Almost had it on the redirect.
Great effort by Spong. Often just in the right spot at the right time. Great positional player, I would say.
Now down low behind the goaltender, Chris Dukowicz. Just under 6 minutes to play here in the final frame. That's if there's no overtime. Now LeBlanc takes a good hit there. And Ontario is going to skate for it there. And a good hit by Tomk that time for Alberta.
Puck is still loose. And they finally managed to tie it up.
And LeBlanc's going to exchange some words behind the net.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing get a little bit more physical here, which we have seen before by Alberta. We know that they can certainly dish it out and take it. But Ontario is doing a great job at keeping a level head and playing their game. Let's see if they can hold on to this 2-1 lead, or if we can get something going from Alberta to push us into overtime. Still 15-15 on your shots. 5:38 to play in the third. Linesman's having a conversation with King. We'll switch it up.
Skiffington down for the draw for Team Alberta. They're actually going to win that one by going forward, and they're going to have to skate for it. And it looks like Bullchild and LeBlanc combined are both going to be there, and they beat out the icing. And that one fired an own goal. Dukowicz makes a save. It's picked up by Bullchild, though. And look at the patience. He's going to wait to set something up, but they're just not the right play.
They're hungry for this. Oh, and that was a great effort. Just a great team effort there. Bullchild and LeBlanc both racing down, and it seemed almost like a set play. You know, they fired that puck down deep and risked the icing, going with the speed and just that desire and to get a goal in this late part of this game. Spong and I think it was Spong, maybe King was actually coming down the lane there. Yeah, it was King.
Yes.
And just a great shot there and a great save, good glove save. May have gone high, but able to control that puck. And if King had been maybe a second earlier on that first attempt with that rebound, there might have been an opportunity there.
Now that one's actually going to go off the back of Hillman and clear out to the neutral zone. Though Hillman's going to get it right back, put on the brakes a little bit, bank that one up the left side. There's a hit that time. Now the left side, Ontario's going to bank that one up. So LeBlanc has it in his own end now. Now he's going to look to go for something. Up the left side, here's Jacob LeBlanc. Up, making another move. Great play by LeBlanc. Down low to Bullchild. That one just gets broken up, and I think we're going to see a lot of that here in the late stages of this third period. Is Bullchild and LeBlanc trying to start something, but now a little scrum in front of the net.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. A few taps on the legs. I think everybody is just making sure that they're maybe getting in the heads of them a little bit. That was a great team effort again by Alberta. That's what I'd like to see this whole tournament, is how deep their team is, how everybody is playing their part, playing good positional hockey. They've just previously not been able to connect, but we've got a nice, great game going here, 2-1. Good singular effort by LeBlanc, but to note was all the other players taking perfect positions. And so if LeBlanc was able to get it down on that wing, which he did, it set up a great opportunity. But Ontario's defense boxed out right away, and we're able to hold them off.
Now here's Team Ontario. Hillman able to keep that one in, actually. Now along the boards, a little bit of a tie-up down there, battling for it. Finally pops out. Now here's Topping up the left side, gets knocked off the puck. That one is going to reach Reitveld. Reitveld will play that one up, kind of whiffs on it though, but ends up getting where it needs to go, as Lucas will play that one over to Bullchild. Bullchild will try and chip that one out. Lena hit that time.
And with just over 3 minutes to go, I don't mind that play. It's a little bit dangerous, but they're going to have to start taking those risks in this quarterfinal if they want to move on. Alberta really looking for that second goal now.
Yeah, not a much better time to get it than right now, and you have something to build off of and swing the momentum. And LeBlanc gives a hit that time. That one broken up by LeBlanc again. And now here comes Lucas the other way. Bullchild to his left. He gets it over there. Now Bullchild will fire that one over. Now that one's actually going to go the length of the ice. Goaltender is to the bench for Team Alberta.
And we will get that icing to come back down. And they'll get an offensive opportunity with 2:58 to go. Get that sixth man on the offensive effort. You know, and the momentum is really actually in the Alberta favor at this moment and has been pretty much for this whole period. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout here.
It's going to be called by Alberta.
Absolutely not a bad idea. Take that timeout. With the 6-man, 1-man advantage on this offensive rush. And we'll get a
At
one.
Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions, home to possibility, and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Making sure everybody's making their way down. 2:58 to go here in the third period, and listen to these Alberta fans.
Yeah, we are in for an exciting 2:58 left in this game. This is a hungry Alberta team, and they have the skill to put one away. 17 shots now to 15 for Alberta. As I said, this third period, they have been really coming up big, digging deep, and laying it all on the line.
Now the puck is finally dropped. We're off. Pardon me, Bullchild down low with it into the corner. Now one's going to come out to center. Look at the way that puck is rolling there, Steve. That's going to be no icing.
Yeah, it did slow right down, didn't it? That's okay. They'll get something going here, hopefully.
LeBlanc up to Bullchild now. Taking a bump that time, and LeBlanc is going to crash in.
Good forecheck there, but now
they're
going to
go.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go. All sorts of players jumping in there. This is playoff hockey. Tensions are high. With 2:25 to go, we'll see what happens here. Ontario had a great forecheck there, but then it just, that collision resulted, we'll see it here. We got a great replay of it, I think. It's just on the edge of your screen. Here we go. And he just ran in there, and then he just pulls him to the ice, the Alberta player, and Ontario was having none of that. A few words exchanged. Ends up in fisticuffs. You know, and I kind of think that may not serve Alberta at this stage. It was a good forecheck, but Alberta has that one-man 6-on-5 hockey that they're doing for 2:25, and the momentum was going their way. So I think they would have actually benefited from just playing the hockey instead of getting Ontario riled up.
So I'm curious to see what the official ruling is going to be.
Alberta captain coming in to make sure that they have their say in the conversation. And you can see there some smiles and friendly chit-chat. Of course, tensions are high, but it is still a game, and these players are out here playing the game. Still waiting to get everything sorted out with the officials. And coming up next, of course, we have BC versus Saskatchewan at our 10:30 game. BC being the 2 seed and Saskatchewan being the 7 seed. We saw them play last night.
So Travis Topping and Stefano Tomborello both have 4 minutes up on the board. I'm going to assume head contact. Really not sure. There could even be more than that. Just we can only see 2 on the board for Team Ontario, and so it's going to be probably the same to Team Alberta. Actually, no, there's going to be a 2 minute on the board for Team Alberta to Colton Ribbling.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I believe Ribbling was the initial contact there. And that might just be that minor for maybe a holding or something. But that certainly got the Ontario team riled up.
Well, if Ribbling was the one who started it all. Is that what you said? Yeah, so that could be an instigating call there.
Could be an instigating.
So that's all we got for right now, but the officials are still talking there.
So after our BC and Saskatchewan game, I am really looking forward to that third quarterfinal of the day, the 4th and 5th seed. Atlantic taking on Manitoba. That's going to be another good battle to watch for sure. They played earlier in this tournament.
And Manitoba, their fans are crazy.
Absolutely.
They are awesome.
Now I'm hoping to see some fans, given Atlantic being the home team here, technically speaking, even though it is a team made up of multiple provinces, players from multiple provinces, New Brunswick, PEI, Newfoundland, and Nova Scotia.
So that penalty is actually going to come off the board for Team Alberta. All right, Steve. So actually there's nothing on the scoreboard now. So those must have all just been coincidental. And Alberta's absolutely fired up right now. LeBlanc's out there.
Yeah, we have King, Lucas, Hillman. It's going to be a good 2:25 to go. And we are playing 5-on-5 hockey, and they do have Reitveld back in the net for Alberta.
They do, and I think they'll put him to the bench here in a second.
Yeah, as soon as that puck clears, I think he's looking to head to the bench if he can.
And almost the Hillman brothers are relatives connected almost. You almost had a chance there. Just going to get the final pass off.
You know, Ontario doing a good job picking up the physicality here just at the end, and both teams keeping that intensity high.
The music's still going in the barn. You could have loved to hear that.
Unfortunately, delayed offside there. Couldn't get something going. Gives Ontario a chance here. 1:39 to go.
That one's broken up a little bit. Reitveld still in his crease there. I thought it might have been a little early when they pulled him.
Well, as we said, playoff hockey, it is the quarterfinals, laying it all on the line here. Got to take those chances.
Now Ontario will just decide to chip that one in a little bit. It's picked up along the boards by Hillman. The left side, and it looked like Hillman and Martin were getting into it on the other side of the ice. We approach the last minute of play here. Let's see what LeBlanc can do here.
Great lead pass there by Lucas.
Just a little wide, though.
Will be icing. And again, that is just, it's so tough to take those passes from behind. It was a great idea by Lucas to send it forward. And Hillman just being on the outside there, couldn't get a stick backwards. Of course, it's a complete blind spot for you when you're in that sled. And trying to take that pass is one of the toughest things to do. And looking forward in our day again, British Columbia and Saskatchewan, a replay of last night's game, and Manitoba Atlantic at 1 p.m. Going to be another great game and close game.
And we're off one more time here. And here we go, forward Hillman. Drop that one off for other Hillman, I guess you could say, and passing that one up. It's picked up in the neutral zone by Harrington, who that one took a weird bounce there on the right veld. That one's going to get poked away, and if Alberta wants to win this, LeBlanc's going to have to do something here. They're going to pass the one up. It'll connect to Hillman. And couldn't get that one more pass off. And Ontario's still sticking with it.
Great defensive play by Martin just to control the puck. They're just tying up time. Riley jumps in there.
Let's see if we get something going here.
Yeah, Martin created that great defensive play just to tie up that puck, knowing that there's only a few seconds left in that game.
And that's going to do it. So what an amazing game, Steve.
Absolutely agree, Easton. What a great quarterfinal in this playoff hockey. Both teams showing such an amazing amount of energy, determination, team play, just everybody coming up big.
So final score 2-1 for Team Ontario, though Alberta led the shot 17-15 after they made one big push there that whole third period. My name's Jason Stroop. I'm joined alongside Steve Rombeek. We'll be right back here for next game, the 2 seed versus the 7 seed. Team Saskatchewan versus Team BC.